So while I'm out here in the lean-to section grabbing some more pellets for my smoker, I might as well go ahead and check on baby ducky. I got one baby duck all by himself here in my brooder. He's a mix of hybrid 300 and Welsh Harlequin, so kind of like a barnyard mix. And I just have one, unfortunately, right now because his brothers and sisters didn't hatch in the incubator. But I have more in there, so all you gotta do, buddy, hold on for 2 more weeks and you'll have some siblings, and they'll be hilariously small compared to you. Alright? Okay, good. We're agreed. I'm gonna try to get close in. You gonna be afraid? Good little duck. So, actually very friendly. Can pick them up, him or her can pick them up, carry them around, and they're pretty chill about it. They like neck scratches and, long walks on the beach. You'll have company soon, bud, I promise. Have a good day. So at some point in this video, you'll have seen me show off the lonely baby ducky. And the baby duck is part of a larger and somewhat sadder story. And right now, what I'm showing you right here is my duck run, my duck pen. This duck pen has no ducks in it. It has some beautiful blooming goldenrod and a lot of white aster, but all of the ducks are in the duck house. And the reason why is because last year I had one eagle that was coming and attacking my flock. Well, they doubled up, and this year I've had 2 eagles working in tandem, eviscerating my flock. And in 3 days I lost 4 ducks. And if you saw the baby gosling that I let Mama Goose raise this year, from sitting on a clutch and everything, her and her mate, man, they were doing so good raising that baby goose, and she was getting big, and she was just about starting to lose her fluff and getting feathered out. Eagles killed her too. Terrible day for the family. My wife was crying, the kids were crying. And this run is great because it's nice and big, but it's terrible because it's nice and big. It's really, really difficult for me to protect from flying predators when it's 45 feet wide and 100 feet long. So part of what I'm doing here in about the next week or 2 is I'm cutting this run down into about a third. I'm reworking the whole area, and it's going to include I'm going to use polywire to make kind of like a crosshatch about 8 feet in the air all over it, so that way anything big with wings isn't going to be able to fly in through about 10-inch squares. I'm going to do a cross about every 10 inches. So a lot of work, a lot of effort, but they're my ducks, and it's my responsibility to keep them safe. And I did think about rehoming my animals, but the fact of the matter is some of those animals I've actually had for 6 or 7 years. The oldest goose, Val, used to take out for walks with me out on the lawn, and he'd follow me around when he was a gosling. One of my oldest ducks, it was a Welsh Harlequin, she's a forgive me for a moment. I call them cow ducks. She's a black and white duck. I'll put the name of the duck right down there. But love her. She's an awesome duck. I do have some Welshies as well. So part of what that little baby ducky represents is getting some of my flock back. And I have about another 6 or 7 viable eggs in the incubator right now, which should hopefully all hatch well. And then I'll get some more ducks in, because I do have some folks locally that love buying the duck eggs. I have those and chicken eggs usually every week out in the farm stand. Super popular. But right now the eagles are just claiming decimation upon my property. So got to protect them, got to do what's right. They're your livestock, just like the bees. You got to do what's right by them. I got to do what's right for my birds too. Hey there, and good morning. This is Paul with Blackwater Honey Forge, and this is a day I've been somewhat apprehensive about. I'm out here at the bee yard. I have my trailer loaded up with a bunch of bee escapes, and I'm going to be lifting off my honey supers and putting on the bee escapes. Why am I apprehensive about it? Well, because I'm not really sure if I have any honey.
This is Blackwater Honey Forge, named in part after the Blackwater River we live near in central New Hampshire, and in part after the master craftsmanship of honeybees. This is a place for learning, discussion, and to practice the art of beekeeping. Welcome to the journey. Be well and forge on.
So yeah, today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going ahead, and as I mentioned, I'm going to pull off all of my honey supers, put on the bee escapes, get my honey supers back on as part of what I'm hoping to be a honey collection and extraction over the course of probably the next week or so. It's been a tough year nectar-wise for where I'm at, but also, as I've talked about in previous videos as well, really my focus this year was a couple of things. If you've been following along, you know I'm trying to grow the operation, and I'm really hoping to make more bees and honey. And now kind of the rule of thumb is you make one or the other, but I'm stubborn, so I'm trying both. Today we get to find out if I'm at least partially successful. I know I'm successful on one end. I've tripled the size of my operation this year. I went from 10 hives to 30, and hopefully I'm going to be expanding on top of that next year as well. But today we're going to find out if my ladies have made any honey. Now, what is nice is I have a nice early bloom of goldenrod. I have it all over the property. I also have a lot of white aster that's already in as well, and the bees have been working pretty hard. So this is one of those moments too where I have to kind of make an executive decision. Do I want to leave the supers on and let them linger and collect a little bit more honey? Or do I just collect the honey now? And generally, my rule of thumb for the last few years with the goldenrod and the aster is that's their winter feed. Sure, as the beekeeper, I can try to go ahead and collect that and get a few $100s more of honey, but I'm going to then lose that in a few $100s of sugar feed, so that way my hives go into winter at appropriate weight. So it seems a little bit counterproductive to me at that point, to wait longer, to not extract, to utilize something that I'm then just going to have to compensate for anyway, if that makes sense to you. So I'm going to be making the decision today. Whatever I have is what I have, and whatever they collect from here on out after I fully pull the honey supers off is going to be theirs for the winter. Because if they go into winter strong, that's a better chance of them coming out of winter healthy, and the better chance of me of not only being able to expand my operation more next year, make nukes for sale next year, but also the established production colonies are going to be that much stronger, and next year's honey harvest is going to be better, and I'm going to have more of them doing it. So this is one of those things where beekeeping, you kind of have to, it's that far-reaching thinking. You have to think a year or two out, which is sometimes really difficult for a guy that generally doesn't know what day it is. But let's go ahead. I got to get geared up. I got to get the smoker lit, and I'll see you in the bee yard in a moment. Now take a look at this. This is the next hive over. This is a phenomenal sight. Let me get my shadow out of the way here. Burr comb all over it. I did just smoke them a little bit, but there's bees wall to wall in here, more so kind of on this side, but there is bees everywhere in here working it. They're definitely bringing in nectar. However, the box is really light. It's not full up in here. So I like what I see, but I'm not going to put an escape board on this one yet. I know, I said I was going to do it anyway. I said I wasn't going to delay my harvest, but they're making honey right now. And if they're making it up here, then they have a good amount down in their brood chamber as well. So I'm going to, on the second box, go back on what I said earlier. And I'm going to leave this on. And if I can collect good nectar from my goldenrod and my aster for just one more week or two and fill this box, then that's what I'm going to do. But this is only the first good hive that I've seen with good bee activity. So let me continue to check my operation. Let's see if that's the consistency that I want to go with, or if I'm going to change my mind yet again. Welcome to my channel. So somehow I erased one of the videos that I already just took in this. I just showed you, and I still have it open here, the second hive that has a lot of bees working that honey super, which is great. The first hive, I was just explaining that I wasn't expecting much because this is one of my hives that had swarmed on me earlier this year. I still put a honey super on them anyway because they seemed strong at the time. But not only was the super completely empty, the second brood chamber was completely empty, and the first brood chamber down below has failed. They have nectar, they have pollen, but they do not have a laying queen. They have a drone layer situation going on. And so I actually, on the very first hive that I checked out, need to look for an appropriate hive to do a combine on with this one. So that's unfortunate news. I'm glad I found better news right next door, but I didn't want to not show you this because I always try to be honest about my failures as well. And I probably should have managed this a little bit differently. I should have put them in a smaller, tighter location, not given them so much space. There's a couple of different things that I could have done. Maybe the outcome would have been different, maybe not. But this is definitely not the outcome that I went after, because now instead of 30 hives, I'm down to 29. So I think at my highest at one point I was right around the 33 mark. Now I'm down to 29. You know, do you ever have one of those days where just nothing seems to go your way and nothing was what you were hoping for? Well, check out back here on my little staging ladder. These are all supers that are mostly empty. They're not going to get full because they're on hives that need more resources below anyway. And since those hives need those resources below, they don't need extra space that they're not completely working up top. So if there is a tiny bit of nectar in that, which I think there is on some of those, I just get those set up. Whatever hive gets to them can have that. And I had to do a combine on one because that was in really rough shape. So I've got a couple of hives that I left supers on with no bee escapes. I actually put on no bee escapes today. My goal for today was come out and put on bee escapes so that I could harvest honey. I don't have any harvestable honey at the moment. I have a couple of hives that are in really good shape in the brood chambers, and they're starting to work those honey supers well. I probably have dearth coming too, so it's going to be this weird conflux of their weight's probably going to go down and up. Maybe if I'm lucky, but it's probably going to go down during a dearth. And then when all the goldenrod and the aster really pops, maybe I'll be able to collect some of that. I'd like to not walk away skunked this year. I also have another hive and a half that wasn't really in good shape at all. Definitely on anything that doesn't have a honey super on, I definitely need to go through and cap off all of my feed as well, because it looks like they could really use it. They could really use the resources. It's going to be hard this time of year to draw wax. Whew, it is humid out here today. You guys going to cooperate with me if I take off my veil? Sure, sir, we are. Just kidding. So, yeah, it's one of those days. It's unfortunate. So yeah, at any rate, almost no good news. Except for, what I expressed this morning. Yeah, I tripled my operation. That's good news. But the second part of this season, man, didn't shape up to what I wanted it to be. And maybe it's just because I thought I could do something that was against the rule of thumb of make bees or make honey. So maybe I shouldn't be disappointed because I made the bees. Maybe I should just look at it that way. So however you hoped your season was going this year, I hope it's going that way for you, and I hope mine turns around. And man, there's a lot of bees flying around right now. I probably should not have taken off my veil. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the heck out of here. You guys, be well. Forge on. Take care.